Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, that was the most unintentional but cool fade-in ever. And welcome to Monday Morning Coffee with Kailvin. I'm your lovely host, Kailvin, if you couldn't guess. I'm going to turn down the music just a bit. Just a little more. There we go. That looks a little better on the audio balance. Man, this is weird for me. Ugh. So, this is going to be a vlog that I might just do weekly. And to start things off very terribly, I'm actually not even drinking coffee, I'm drinking tea. Because I ran out of cream yesterday, and you do not put milk in coffee. That's how you ruin coffee. God, that's weird. So normally a lot of my vlogs are horrifically out of sync, and I'm hoping that this one will be different. Because I've gone to OBS and put a delay on my video, so that way it should theoretically be synced with my audio. I spent a few minutes experimenting around with it, just snapping in front of the microphone, to try and sync it all up. Hopefully it works. But the downside is, now that I am staring at my image from the camera, everything's on like a 300 millisecond delay. And it's horrifically weird looking at it. Because like, I raise up the hand, and then 300 milliseconds later, whoop, comes up. And it's almost a similar effect, I suppose, to the your voice being played back to you at a slight delay, causing you to be unable to speak. I'm having some trouble like continuing my thought pattern in my speech, looking at a slightly delayed version of myself. Oh well, I'll figure it out anyway. So, the music playing is Polovstian dances. Don't look at me. When the hell have I ever been able to pronounce anything that's not North American Anglo, and maybe French? Canadian, so I get away with French pretty well. Anyway, so, yeah, hopefully this is much better synced for you guys, because it's weird as all hell for me. But this is going to be a vlog I do on a regularly weekly basis, in which I talk about my life and interesting things that happened in it. A lot of people often ask me about these things, but I often just generally don't answer, not because I'm ashamed or anything of it, but because I try and keep gaming content about gaming content. About gaming. There you go. It's a simple, logical thing to do. I try and keep, you know, politics, life, you know, my bitching, and pretty much everything else out of games. Because people don't come for that, they come for games. Simple. Anyway, since I do get constantly asked various questions about my life, I figure I might as well actually make a bit of a series about it, in which I'm just going to talk and drink tea. Monday morning coffee. God, that looks weird. So weird. Anyway, so I'm going to address probably the most popular asked question to start the week off. And it comes as, Kailvin, why do you not have a girlfriend? Why have you never had a girlfriend? And why will you probably never get a girlfriend? Are the three probably most asked questions I ever get. And, I can take a wild guess and say that there are a lot of introverts who watch me. And I can tell that because, well, I'm an introvert, and logically speaking, I should attract people who are similar to me in that regard. So, man, that's weird. I'm sorry, I'm just still just sort of taken aback by the slightly delayed me. I should just turn off my screen. Now I have no idea what I look like. And I've suddenly, like, grown giant warts on my face that I can no longer, because I can no longer see my face. Paranoia. Anyway, so the question often is, why don't you have a girlfriend or whatever? And so to the introverts, I ask, what's the worst that happens when you ask a girl out? Think about it for a minute. You've all probably come up with an answer of embarrassing rejection, or something similar. Now, let me give you something to be really afraid of. And let's start by traveling back in time to the 1990s. Would it have been the 1990s? No, it would have been 2001, I don't know. No, a little later than that. 2003. Yeah, 2003. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Anyway, way back then, way back then, I was in grade 6, I think. Might have been 2002. I don't know. Grade 6. So, and I was entering puberty and doing all the normal teen things that came with entering puberty. By this time, though, I was a rather unpopular nerd. Which, I'm still alright. I'm still a fairly unpopular nerd when it comes to school-related things, and I'm proud of it. Anyway, So I developed my first crush. A lovely girl. Lovely girl. Her name was Veronica. She was cute. She was nice. She was a nerd. She played video games. Great. Love it. Like, sort of fell for her a bit. And one day I decided to work up the guts to ask her out. Now, she was a nice girl, as you'd expect from somebody I would fall for, but she rejected me. No harm, no foul. But it doesn't end there. Catherine, her friend, Veronica's friend, her name was Catherine, she was a bitch. That's putting it mildly. Very mildly. And you'll understand what I mean when I finish the story. She was also a slut. Like, the kind of slut who shows up wearing a low-cut tank top and a miniskirt. I need to maybe cut down... Should I do live cropping? What's the worst that could happen? Actually, don't answer that. I'll keep going as I just sort of do a bit of a live crop here. That way it's easy to make hand signals. Oh, is that actually the bottom of my... No, wait. Oh yeah, that is... Holy crap, that's the bottom of my camera. In order to do this, I'd have to do this. There. Everything's looking all weird for everybody. I should see about actually increasing the... No, that's not... Whatever. Let's do this, there we are. Good. So, like I said, she comes to school wearing a low-cut tank top and a miniskirt in grade 6. People who are younger than me probably know the kind of girl I'm talking about. Anyway, recess later that day, I'm walking around with my friend, and we're just chatting. And out of nowhere, a stampede of about 15 of my classmates starts roaring into my general direction. Now, I don't even fault my friend for this, but we bolted in different directions. Just bolted in different directions. And they chased me down. They then proceeded to surround me. I just decided defensive curl and just fetal position, cover the head. It was probably a fairly wise move. And for about 15 to 30 seconds, they were just kicking. Like, you can't see me kick because I should just stand up and kick. Okay, you know what kicking looks like. I don't need to demonstrate kicking for you. You're intelligent people if you watch me. So, yeah. Should probably turn off that. There. So, for about 30 seconds or so, before a teacher managed to break it up, I was just getting my shit literally kicked in. Like, when it all stopped, I was bruised up pretty badly. I had to get sent to the office. They basically just told me to dual-wield ice packs and just press them all over the place. They didn't even send me home. Jerks. But yeah, and none of the students got caught because there was 15 of them and the teacher didn't exactly grab on any of them. And, yeah. And she did that because Catherine hated me, because I was unpopular and she was popular. And I had the audacity to ask her friend out. Like, that's how much of a bitch she was. She got like 15 people to kick the crap out of me at recess. I don't even call it a fight, that's just me getting the shit kicked out of me by half my class. Like all the popular guys she had wrapped around her little finger. Just like, alright. I think that is also probably influence as to why girls have nothing for influence over me. Like, with a lot of guys, even, especially ones who normally who are less popular and have less social interaction with girls, tend to be very seduced very easily. Yet, I have shown amazing resilience to that throughout my life, and I think that's probably one of the things that sort of influenced it is, wow, that's the kind of thing girls can drive men to do. Don't ever let a girl into your head. And ever since then, I've actually not been able to ask a girl out. Like, I can talk to pretty girls, no problem. I can talk, maintain conversation, maintain friendship with a couple of them even. But I cannot make the words, will you go out with me, leave my mouth. And I think, at this point, a lot of people can understand why. You know, I really don't know if I like the overhead lighting. This is like a first sort of pilot episode, so, you know, we're going, that's actually not bad. That actually looks kind of cool. I'm gonna adjust this a little more. See what I can get out of this. Yeah, it looks alright. So yeah, that's I think that's gonna be the first Monday morning coffee with Kailvin. And I hope everything came out mostly synced up okay, because God is it weird for me right now. And so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this little thing. And let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these, and what sort of questions and topics you'd like me to talk about from my past. There's a lot of interesting things I'd love to talk about, and I think a lot of lessons people can learn from mistakes I've made throughout my life. I mean, there are probably, in fact, I can tell you, there are a lot of people who are older than me on this channel. Like, I can tell you, like, 40% of my audience is over 30. So, you guys are just like, hey, you youngin', you got nothing on us. When you actually get into real life, you're gonna have real problems. Like, yeah, I know. But I still have some pretty comical things from my childhood I would love to share. And there are a decent number of people who could probably use my kind of advice. But, yeah, so, if you're ever asked, why don't you ask that girl out, you have a new story to tell. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. And yeah, that's why I don't have a girlfriend, and why I probably will never manage to actually get a girlfriend. Really hard when you can't ask them out. Also, that doesn't help that society expects the man to ask the woman out. Never happens in reverse, really. Anyway, well, thank you everybody for watching Monday Morning Coffee with Kailvin. I've been your lovely host, Kailvin, signing off.